looking at radical equation or set equation type 2. Type 2 question under set equation or radical equation. Now this is usually an equation which involves operation of two different radicals. It means that we are going to have two different radicals in one question, and then we have to solve it. An example of such equation is, so examples we have, these are very few examples of radical equation type 2. You can see that we have two different radicals in one question. Okay. Now let's look at the steps that we are going to use in solving type 2 questions under radical equation. So we have the steps. So these are the steps that we are going to use. So we have the first one says isolate one of the set by transferring one of the set to the other side of the equation. Square both sides and expand where possible. 3. Group like terms and square again to remove all radicals. 4. Solve the equation to obtain the values of the variables. And lastly, verify or check your answers with the original equation given. So these are the steps. Now let's take examples and then see how best we can solve it. So we have examples. We have to solve it. So the first step says isolate one of the set by transferring one of the set to the other side of the equation. So let's transfer this to the other side of the equation, and we are going to have this is equal to 1 plus root of 3x minus 2. So the second step says square both sides and expand where possible. So we are going to expand, square and then expand. So you square and then expand. Now when you expand this, the square will take away the radical sign. So we are having x plus 7 is equal to, now this, when you expand, you are going to get 1 times 1, we have 1 squared plus 2 of this plus the square of this. Good. So we are having x plus 7 is equal to 1 squared is 1 plus 2 root of 3x minus 2, and then this, the square will do away with the radical sign. We will be left with 3x minus 2. So the third step says group like terms and then square again to remove all radicals. So let's group like terms. So we are having minus 3x plus 2 minus 1 is equal to 2 root of 3x minus 2. So we have x minus 2x, you are getting minus x minus 3x, you are getting minus 2x, and then 7 plus 2, we are getting 9. 9 minus 1, we are getting what? 8. So plus 8 is equal to 2 root of 3x minus 2. Now it says group like term and square again. So we are going to square again to remove all radicals so that we can remove this radical here. So let's square again here. So when you square again, you are going to get, this is going to give you 4x squared minus 2a16, 2a16, 32. So minus 32x 8, 64 plus 64 is equal to 2 squared is what? 4. And then these two will cancel the radical sign. So we are left with 3x minus 2. So you expand this bracket, 4, 3, 12, 4, 2, 8. Let's group like terms again and then see what we are coming out with. So when you group like terms, we are getting 4x squared minus 32x minus 12x plus 64 plus what? 8 is equal to 0. So we have 4x squared minus, this will give you 44, right? So 44x plus what? 72, right? So 72 is equal to 0. Now let's divide through by 4, okay, so that we can get a reduced form of the quadratic equation. So we are going to get divided by 4. We are getting x squared minus 11x plus 72 divided by 4. We are getting 18 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. You can use your calculator to punch the values, okay? When you use your calculator, you are going to get your x to be either equal to 2 or x is equal to 9. So solve for the equation to obtain the values of the variable. So we have solved this equation and then we have obtained the value of this variable, which is x is equal to 2 or x is equal to what? 9. Now the last step says that verify your answer with the original equation. So we are going to check. So let's check at x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2. This is the original equation. So we are going to get 2 plus 7 is what? 9 minus root of 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 2 is what? 4, right? Is equal to what? 1. So root of 9 is what? 3, and then 2 is equal to 1. So we are getting 1 is equal to 1. So it means that at x is equal to 2 satisfy the original equation. And then let's check the last one. At x is equal to 9, and this is not true, so it's false. So the solution to the equation this is x is equal to what? 2, and this satisfies the equation. Let's take another example and then see what we are coming with. Example 2, we are to solve so we are following the steps. So we have, let's write the question here. So the first is that isolate one of the set by transferring one of the said equation to the other side of the equation. So let's transfer this to the other side of the equation. So we are going to get root of 3x plus 1 is equal to 1 plus root of 2x minus 1. So the second step is square both sides and expand where possible. So square both sides. Let me use a red pen. Square both sides to remove the radical sign. So when you square this, you are going to get 3x plus 1 because this and that will go. And then when you square this, 1 squared is 1 plus 2 of this plus the square of 2x minus 1. So we are getting 3x plus 1. 1 squared is 1 plus 2 root of 2x minus 1 plus this and that to go. We are left with 2x minus 1. Now from here it says group like terms and square again to remove all the radicals. So let's group like terms from here. So we have 3x minus 2x plus 1 plus this 1 minus 1 is equal to 2 root of 2x minus 1. So 3x minus 2x, we have x, this and that to go, plus 1 is equal to 2 root of 2x minus 1. Now this third step says group like term and square again. So we are going to square again to deal with this radical sign. We will continue square till we are left with no radical sign. So you square again, and when you square again, you are getting s squared plus 2 of x plus 1 is equal to 4. Now this will cancel the radical sign, so this one will be gone. We are left with 2s minus 1. There is no radical sign here, sorry. There is no radical sign there. It's just a normal bracket. So we are getting s squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to, then let's expand this bracket. 4 times 2s will give us what? 8s. 4 times minus 1, we have minus 4. Let's group like terms again. Okay, so we have s squared here plus this 2x minus 8x plus 1 plus 4 is equal to what? 0. So we are going to get s squared, this will give us minus 6x, 1 plus 4, we have 5 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. So the fourth step states that solve the equation. So we are going to solve this equation to obtain the values of the variable x. So when we are solving, this is a quadratic equation, so let me help you with this one. So with this one, we are going to get factorize x out, we are left with x minus 1. 5 out, we have x minus 1 is equal to 0. So picking those outside the brackets, we are getting x minus 5, x minus 1 is equal to 0. So our x is equal to 5, or s is equal to what? 1. So these are the values. So the last step says check or verify your answers with the original equation. So let's check. At x is equal to s is equal to 5. So it means that this is what? True. It means the solution at s is equal to 5 is true. So we have at x is equal to 1. Satisfy the equation. So it means that the solution to the equation are s is equal to 1 or s is equal to 5.